Moses, the man who led God's people. A long time ago. A long time ago in the land of Egypt, God's people, the Israelites, were living as slaves. They worked hard all day, building cities for Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Life was very difficult, and the Israelites prayed for God to help them. During this time, a baby named Moses was born. Pharaoh had ordered that all baby boys born to the Israelites must be thrown into the river. But Moses' mother loved him very much and wanted to keep him safe. She hid him for 3 months, but when she couldn't hide him anymore, she came up with a brave plan. A basket in the river. Moses' mother made a basket out of reeds and covered it with tar so it would float. She placed baby Moses in the basket and set it gently in the Nile River. Then she told Moses' sister, Miriam, to watch from a distance and see what would happen. Pharaoh's daughter, the princess, came to the river to bathe. She saw the basket and heard the baby crying. When she opened the basket and saw Moses, she felt sorry for him. "This must be one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Miriam quickly ran up to the princess and asked, "Shall I find someone to care for the baby for you?" The princess agreed, and Miriam brought Moses' own mother to take care of him until he was old enough to live in the palace. Moses grew up as a prince in Egypt, but he always remembered that he was one of God's people. God's plan for Moses. When Moses grew up, he saw how badly Pharaoh treated the Israelites. One day, he saw an Egyptian man beating an Israelite. Moses became so angry that he stopped the Egyptian and ran away to the desert where he became a shepherd. One day, as Moses was taking care of his sheep, he saw something amazing. A bush was on fire, but it wasn't burning up. As Moses got closer, he heard a voice calling his name. It was God. God told Moses, "I have heard the cries of my people. I want you to go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go." Moses was nervous. "Who am I to do this?" he asked. But God promised, "I will be with you." He even gave Moses a special staff, a long stick, that could perform miracles to show Pharaoh that God was powerful. "Let my people go." Moses went to Pharaoh and said, "The Lord says, 'Let my people go.'" But Pharaoh refused. So God sent 10 plagues to show Pharaoh his power. There were frogs, flies, hail, and even darkness. After the 10th plague, when all the firstborn sons of Egypt died, Pharaoh finally said, "Go." The Israelites packed their things and followed Moses out of Egypt. They were free. But soon, Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army to bring the Israelites back. The Red Sea miracle. The Israelites were trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea. They were scared, but Moses told them, "Don't be afraid. God will fight for you." God told Moses to stretch out his staff over the sea. When he did, God parted the waters, and the Israelites walked through on dry ground. When Pharaoh's army tried to follow, the waters rushed back, and the army was swept away. The Israelites were safe. The journey to the Promised Land. God led his people through the desert to a new land he had promised them. He gave them food from heaven, called manna, and water from a rock. He also gave Moses the 10 Commandments to teach the people how to live and love God. Moses became a great leader, not because he was strong or perfect, but because he trusted God. Through Moses, God showed his people that he would always take care of them. What can we learn? Just like Moses, we can trust God to help us when we're afraid. God has a plan for each of us, and he will guide us every step of the way.